Testing. Live. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Let's see how this works. Are we live? And hello. Are we? Okay. Let's move this over here. And are we live? Anyway, let's get the introduction going. Hello, everybody. My name is Kins, and I'm an entrepreneur, podcaster, YouTuber, and now a TikToker. And I like building businesses and building solutions that solve business problems. And that's why I'm here presenting and giving on technology and things that matter to the AI era. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this one. So, on today's episode, I want to talk about how is building the next phase of $1 million AI mini app projects. So I just saw an article on Apple's website where it seems that they've actually given a lot of thought into the AI era and has decided to reduce and introduce a partnership program. So what does this mean for everyone who can capitalize on this? That's what we're going to break down in this episode. So the article reads mini apps partnership program. So how it would work. The program is designed for developers who host many apps and games which are experience that are built using web technologies like HTML, script, and distributed within a large native app. Participating apps are required to support certain app store. So it's just the same as if you build an app for Apple. It's just the same threshold. It's just the same where you have to meet. But in this, so the problem is Apple quietly building the Western version of WeChat, where you have multiple apps for payment, for transportation, for hostel appointment. Is this what Apple are trying to do? And I think this also goes right in the face of AI that um, Apple is just quietly announcing something that is a lot bigger than it looks. I mean, the mini app project would enable Apple to own a lot of real estate in the app market. So if you have something like WeChat for China and phone fee switch for India and the rest of them, so this might be an opportunity to build something really valuable that people actually want by building this mini app project partnership. So um, the way I see it, do you think Apple is trying to build um, the WeChat ecosystem without calling it that, or Um, I'm not sure why we in the Western world have struggled to build something similar to WeChat, where it would benefit us to have everything integrated into one application where you can make your payments, reserve uh, appointments, and all those into one application. I'm not sure why we haven't thought of doing that. But in these mini app projects that Apple has just released, mini app partnership, I keep calling it project, mini app partnership that Apple has just released, in my opinion, who benefits more? Would it be Apple or would it be we, the developers or individuals? I will also tell you the opportunities I spot within this program. The good thing about this is if you're a developer, you're someone who likes to build apps or build application that actually solves problem, you would jump on this because when you build an app with or that is hosted on iOS, they tend to be paid version of apps, not like Android. Android apps, you always get free apps on Android, which Android users expect you to keep the app for free. But when you build on iOS, it tends to be you have to pay. It's a paid app. So, who is going to benefit from this? Uh, I mean, with the standalone apps die out, or with the mini apps replace the standalone apps? Because again, if you think about it, the standalone apps are full function apps. I don't know how the mini app is going to if it's going to replace the standalone ones, or it is going to complement the standalone one. So if you have your app already on the app store, how does this work? Um, is Apple just going to act out of generosity and give the developers of the commission of the revenue this by the mini app project? I'm not sure. So these are questions we're yet to answer. But the big this is actually a big move because Apple just legislates the two model, makes distribution becomes arbitrary in the sense that you don't need to convince users to download your apps anymore. Um, so it's just similar to having a YouTube channel or having a TikTok channel, which is you don't need someone to download your app. Um, so by just partnering with Apple or partnering with the host app, and you drop in, this is a easier way to onboard users onto the app because Apple handles all the side of advertising and presenting your app to the right people who would use that app. So I mean, it's good for me personally because when after developing the app, you have to promote it, you have to pay for ad, all this eats into the real value you're trying to provide because again, if Apple provides the platform and distribution, then you can just sit back and develop and build your apps. And that is what I would like to do because I'm not very good with with selling and the distribution part of it. So this this ecosystem would work because um, I don't need to convince anyone to use my app. Think of like travel apps and fitness app, mini workout apps. So things that you would necessarily not build a huge full-fledged application for, build a tiny uh, application to solve a particular problem, and that application generates you revenue because it's on whole mini app partnership. So it's about partnering with Apple to provide content for their platform where users, they already have a lot of users. So that's how I think it will work. And the good thing is, if developers get 10% revenue share, then I'm not sure where how Apple will be gaining getting their own part of the cut, because 80% revenue is quite a lot for them to give to developers. I don't know, but we developers, we want 100% of our application. But obviously, if we're doing this on their platform, then and they are supplying the users, then it's fine if they give us 80% and keep the rest of the percent with all transaction in that. So I mean, and with AI, this makes it 10 times faster and more important because LLM powered micro apps like calculator, planners, agents, and coaches, uh, say niche utility apps, are tiny by design, but those are the kind of application that fits these mini apps. And Apple just creates infrastructure for mini native micro utility, bigger apps within their commercial ecosystem. So, and I'm definitely sure that the barrier to entry for Apple, which has always been high after paying the review, it's really hard to get your app into the App Store. So with this new app partnership, we will be able to get more products out there faster. And but then we will see how it goes with in the next year or so, because it seems to me that I the push for AI has just stopped all of a sudden. Not sure why that is, but the question I'm always asking is if this mini app partnership becomes successful, what micro AI apps would would I build, or would I pay for? So that's the same question I'm asking everyone. What micro app project would you build? You know, this is an opportunity no one, you don't need to miss, because it's just like um, the app store will become modular. The hosting apps will become more like a power broker thing. And but then there are other alternative viewpoints that I would like to also explore, because WeChat there, and my for my friends in who lives in China especially, they tend to use WeChat for a lot of for a lot of their activity. They're booking uh, appointments, hospital appointments, and it works fine. But we on the Western side haven't had any of these. Why? No idea. But um, do people prefer, does the Western world prefer independency and the apps to be independent in order to protect privacy? I have no idea. Maybe that's why we haven't had uh, any sort of WeChat that integrates everything, so you can pay. You can use one account to handle a lot of things. Because again, if you think the amount of password, the amount of PIN you have to remember, the amount of email login details, then recovery details as well. All those things could be solved by just having this sort of application that is just one source of truth, and then you can use it to unlock every other thing. Because you go to for you have a driver's license, but many of the time you don't really. For me, I don't know where the driver's license is, and I haven't used it in a while. But I know it's there. The same with all the hospital appointments or dentist appointments. You could book with the, the card. That having this one platform that could work, but maybe it's about security, and no one is really uh, eager to go into that because the EU GDPR is quite highly regulated. Maybe that's why no one has built anything around that. But anyway, opportunity we shouldn't miss. If you're a founder, if you're a business person, indie hacker, hustler, this is your opportunity to build something for something that actually adds value. The um, common idea. There is multiple of AI tools out there that you could use to implement your MVP immediately, get it out there, and see how people respond to it. So I've tried to come up with some ideas that I think might work because I like ideas. I like to build stuff. So I like to create products that really solve problem. That's what I do. Um, so some of the ideas have come, some of the business ideas I have for you is let me find my notes here. Um, okay, just like the Shopify store has, um, just like Shopify store creates Shopify agency. So there are people who you hire to build out your Shopify store. So you could create a little agency, a little consultancy where you specialize in developing just mini apps and putting that on partnering uh, with the Apple mini app project. So you specialize in doing that, building this and delivering it to clients. That's one idea. The second idea I have is if you own say you own an app in the in the app in the mini app program, you could have that app, and if that app is drawing in a lot of traffic, say for a fitness app drawing traffic, my thought is traffic, then you could be some sort of a landlord for other others to rent a space within that app. That way you could distribute, um, you could send those users to other apps. So people pay you and you become a landlord for apps to be distributed around. So that's one way of looking at it. So you just hold one account and a lot of people, just like being an influencer, something like that. So a lot of people connect to you to get traffic to their apps. So that's number two. I was thinking of a DIY project where creators can build mini app and take a cut, but that will be eating into your 85% cut in, but uh, so you might want to come up with your own ideas, to, if you know, if you don't know what to do, just build a mini, just go through the app store and try and extract one, try and extract an app that is, and extract one feature of the app, and then you can build that as a separate project instead of integrating that. Because what I find is most of the time there is a lot of apps out there with multiple features, and those features never get utilized. So that if we have if we have that feature become an app itself, then maybe it will draw a lot of traffic to the areas where people will actually use those apps, those feature that has now become an app. So that's another way of looking at it. Um, so you could maybe scroll through the app store, find an app to build, extract one feature from it, and test it on the mini app program with Apple, and see if it draws traffic. If you like the idea, um, you could build that. Especially something like the education has always been lacking in terms of apps. And how do children learn these days, where there's a lot of AI? They have phones. How do they learn? The days of uh, of simply cramming and memorizing memorizing regurgitated details are almost over. Um, I won't encourage anyone to bother memorizing and without properly understanding the concept behind what they are learning. So we could we could build the apps to help children learn well. Uh, Also, the way I see things too, AI within textbooks soon. Um, Textbooks are good because they give you one version of truth, but those truths can be false in a year or two time. So those truths can be something that needs updating. But when the AI replaces textbook, then those textbooks can be updated regularly rather than the paper copy of the books. So that's how I say it. Anyway, what was I saying? In conclusion, I'm just doing this Apple partnership program. It's one that you don't want to miss, and it's one that we should miss. If you have idea to build anything, this is your opportunity. This is your green light that the AI era is not ending. Apple just announced this sneakingly and quietly. So If you're like me, you like to build something. This is your opportunity. All those ideas you've been sitting on, opportunity to get to work, um, develop or build, or if you can't, hire someone else to uh, to to build it for you while you become the landlord running everything. So that's what I want to discuss today. The mini app partnership is very good because it reduces the friction with trying to market your app to anyone or trying to get people to your app, and you get feedback fast. Let me see what it says there. So it's saying, am I eligible for the mini app program if I already participate in other Apple programs? Yes, if approved, your app may participate in the mini app partner program while also participating in Apple programs such as the Apple partner. So open. If you like to build things, this is your green light to go ahead, build something, and see your app build. And anyway, for me, I'm not into build. They have a couple of apps there and a couple more. Haven't really had time to finish ones I'm working on. That wouldn't stop me. So if you want to aim, want to help, and you aim while something people really use, and that's my that's the pod for today. And what else is on my mind? I think I'm also testing a new way of streaming because I want to be able to stream on multiple channels. So that's why I'm testing based on this. So I'll be doing more of this, answering more questions. If you have any technology questions you would like to ask, um, of questions on app development. If you want to build an app, don't know where to start from, I can help you, put you in the point you in the right direction, and or introduce you to the right people who would help you if I don't know the answer. So anyway, on that note, I say have a good rest of your day. And if you like this kind of video, if you want to see something else, feel free to let me know what you would like to see. I make technology videos and sometimes tutorials as well. So feel free to reach out if there is something you would want to partner with me or anything. Feel free to reach out. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel as well as my TikTok channel. Anyway, on that note, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and it's a pod. I need to get some